Hello everyone and welcome to the Orgena Rose Show. Orgena Rose here, and I am so glad you're here because my guest today is an amazing singer. Her name is Melissa Hayward, and she has a new CD project out and an absolutely phenomenal story you don't want to miss. I wanted to create a place where women can come to be empowered by other women. Women helping women, with interviews of extraordinary and inspiring leaders, artists, celebrities, and change makers who have overcome great challenges to become incredibly successful and then give back to others so that they can love and believe in themselves, follow their bliss, and shine their light. In this way, we can truly be the change we wish to see in the world. Welcome to the Orgena Rose Show. So welcome back to the Orgena Rose Show. My guest today, Melissa Hayward, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's absolutely a blessing.
It's an honor.
And you're actually Melissa Hayward Tucker now.
Yes, I am. For 2 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you just over the moon, excited and happy?
I am. We're still on our honeymoon. You know, it's still like the first day that we met, and just grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful to have my husband. Being from where I come from, or where I came from, where God has delivered me from. You know, being in a place of a suicidal place, because I was on drugs and alcohol for over 20 years of my life.
Wow.
And I come from a place of just eating out of the garbage cans behind McDonald's on Crenshaw and Florence. I mean, literally, that's where I come from.
Wow.
And so, you know, being in that place of despair and having thoughts of not wanting to live anymore and be on this earth, and not thinking that I had a purpose or a destiny for my life. You never, ever would have thought in a million years. I mean, I know he cleaned me up and he delivered me from drugs and alcohol, but I never knew that I could have this type of union with another person, which is to be married today to the man of my dreams.
Wow. Oh my goodness. What a story. What a testimony. And actually all of the world is celebrating with us right now. We're having all sorts of fabulous alarms. So we're going to pause and we'll be right back. Tired of giving the same old gifts of flowers, chocolates, perfume, or cologne? Finding it hard to come up with that perfect and special gift? Want to put your love into words? How about putting it to music? Capture the magic of your love in your very own love song. Imagine your unique love story told in an intensely powerful and emotional way through the magic of music. Give a gift that is truly one of a kind and absolutely priceless. Get your custom signature song at customsignaturesongs.com or by calling 323-238-4653. That's 323-238-4653. Rest in my love. And we are back with Melissa Hayward Tucker, who has just told us about an amazingly powerful story. I mean, truly powerful story. So, Melissa, I mean, you were literally living like homeless on the streets, eating out of garbage cans. Like this was your life on a daily basis.
This was my life. My whole focal point was, what do I do to get the next one? You know, what do I need to do to get the next one? That was my daily purpose, my daily
get
the next hit. You know, and so I lived to die and died to live. Pretty much.
Okay, you have to say that one again.
I lived to die to live.
So it literally took you, as you say, dying in a way, right?
Yeah.
to actually finally live and have this life that you're having now?
And let me just tell you the night that God spoke to me. I was living in a back house at my aunt's house in Compton, California, and thank God for my aunt. I had a roof over my head, but when you're on drugs and alcohol, you go home to sleep, to eat for a couple of days, and you go right back out there. And so that's what I did constantly, you know, day after day, month after month. And what happened for me was that one night I had been getting high all night long, back and forth to the dope house, and I must have got a hold of some dope that was real bad, because I could hear people talking to me inside my head and telling me that you're a nobody, you're gonna die like this, you might as well just take your life right now, you'll never be anything, you're not, you know, you're nothing, look at you. And I was literally looking at myself in the mirror in the bathroom, and I had like an exorcist moment, because I could see my head turning, although I was standing there. I was literally just going crazy from the inside out. And a small voice spoke to me. It's like I got a revelation or something. But you know, God says, my sheep hears my voice. And it's not like I had never known God, or I had never been introduced to him. I just thought that he wasn't helping me anymore. And I heard this small voice, you know, say, you don't have to do this anymore. And so something, you know, at that particular time, now I didn't know it was the Holy Spirit, but at that particular time, something had unctioned me to get up from where I was at and go to another addict and let them know what I was going through. So I went to another addict's home, and I shared with her the craziness that I was going through in my head and in my mind and in my heart. And I told her, you know, I'm about to lose my mind. You know, we need to get off this. I didn't say this stuff. I said something else.
Right.
And she said, well, you know, Melissa, I went to a recovery home today, and I got this flyer. They were giving away free food. She said, if you go, I'll go.
Huh.
And I just truly believe that it was just my time. It was my season to clean myself up. God said, okay, I'm ready for you. Now you can do some work for me. And so what happened was, I had made up my mind and my heart. We took hands together and we prayed, and I prayed like I'd never prayed before. And I said, I'm going to leave from here, and I'm going to go somewhere and get some sleep, because I know if I stay here, whoever walks through the door, I'm going to take one.
Right.
And so I said, tomorrow morning, I'm going to come back and get you, and we're going to go to the recovery home. Well, you need to know, I went and got some rest that night, and the next morning when I got up, the devil was on my tracks, and he said, just go to the house, because you got some money in that third pocket to the left that you know, stored in your closet, and you can go get one more just before you go and get clean. And it took everything in me to press my way through, and I ended up at a recovery home on 80th and Florence. It's a recovery home called the House of Uhuru. Uhuru means freedom. And when I walked in, to make a long story short, I made it there, and it's only by the unctioning of the Holy Spirit that guided me to get there. Even though there were a lot of obstacles that was thrown my way, but when I walked inside that building, it just felt like two Big Mac trucks had fell off my shoulders, and I just began to cry. Because I knew in my hearts of hearts that this was it for me.
Right.
And I was going to get my life back.
Wow.
And I did. I stayed in there for 9 months, and I did everything they told me to do, and I worked on myself from the inside out.
That's the way to do it.
And God brought some things out of me that I didn't like. He discarded some things, and he also allowed me to get to know who Melissa really is.
Right.
And now I know who I am, and I know whose I am. I am a child of God.
Yes.
And he is the one that I depend on today. And he is the director of my life. He's the author and the finisher of my faith today.
Yes.
And I live for God now. I live for him.
And you are using your voice in a
Amen.
powerful way to do just that. And we are going to hear a little bit more from Melissa and talk about her new song and new CD that is out. So come right back. Every business wants it, but few know how to get it, and that is instant recognition. The kind you get when you hear a slogan, some piece of music, or even see a logo that brings a specific brand to mind. Many businesses and organizations spend a great deal of time and energy on the visual and forget the audio. Think about some of your favorite audio logos. McDonald's with ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Or any of the others you might know. Build consistency with it and take it across your TV, web, and live events for maximum benefit. Contact us today to find out how you can get your very own customized audio jingle. And we are back with Melissa Hayward Tucker, who has just again shared such a powerful journey that she has had to finally come to this place of singing her song for God and sharing the message of really an amazing healing that you've had, a powerful transformation you've had in your life, and now how your life is so different, and you're sharing that through music. So tell us a little bit about your CD.
So in 2011, God, placed on my heart the vision to put my life in song. So we now have a album called Caught Up. And Caught Up actually just depicts the demoralization that I experienced when I was out there on drugs and alcohol. But it's not just the darkness, it's also the light. And it's giving praise and honor and reverence to God who brought me out of the darkness. But it's a little different because it actually does tell a story. There's songs on there of, with a rapper, we kind of had to take it on back, a little bit.
Okay.
Where you can bob your head a little bit. And then we have that praise and worship on there where we're worshiping God and honoring Him for His glory and His great power that He has manifested in my life, And we also have a song on there called Transform, and it's a rock joint.
Okay, so you take us through a musical journey then.
I take you through a musical journey.
I love that. That's exactly how my first project was. I had just about every style on there. There was like calypso, there was rock, there was a little bit of everything. So.
And who knew, that I had so much of that in me.
Yeah. See, and that was that part of what you said, getting to know who you were, right? Getting to know Melissa.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful thing. Whether, and I think whether someone's coming from the depths from where you've come from or not, still there's a journey that every soul makes, and I believe such a key is that part, really getting to know who you are and tapping in with God, the divine, within and around, and truly operating from that place.
And it's a work. It's a work to change. It's a work to grow. It's a work to mature. It's a work to not be like everybody else. But it's a work. It's a work to be good. And to be kind and to be lovable. It's a work to be a Christian. It's a work. And God is forever working in us, but we as individuals have to be open to allow Him to speak to us the revelation of who we are and our angst and insecurities, and be okay with those things because it's a gift and an honor for God to give us that revelation of some of those things in us that are not so nice. It's a gift to know that, because then you can do something about it. Right.
That's the first step. It's just even recognizing and acknowledging, okay, there's some stuff going on in here that I'm not so crazy about, I'm not so happy about. And then we can allow the light, right? We can allow God's light to shine and change and allow that transformation to happen. But we spend so much time trying to suppress it, pretend it's not there, act as if, and all of these things that, we think are somehow helping us, and they're not.
Absolutely.
It's really that open, transparent, vulnerable, honest way of being. Then that's where the change can happen.
And you know what? For anybody who might be watching right now that is on drugs and alcohol, I unction you to take a look at yourself, and get honest that there's a problem here. Because it's not normal to put things in your system that makes you pick the floor and smoke lint. It's not normal to sit in a drug house in one spot watching the door waiting for somebody to come in to get another hit. That's not normal.
Right. That's not living.
It's not living. You know, it's not normal to walk the streets and hop in different cars and prostitute yourself for a nickel hit. It's not normal.
Right. It's not normal, and it's not life. It's not true living, and it's certainly not the highest living.
Yeah.
The highest way to live. And that there is another way.
Yeah. And honesty is the first step.
Honest with yourself.
Honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And that's with any situation.
Yes.
If you're in a domestic violence situation, you're
Yes.
overeating, you're spending too much money, you're not stewarding your money,
Right.
whatever it is that you're having an issue with, you need to come to grips with that thing.
And first be honest.
And it starts with self.
Yes.
Not everybody else. And I remember when I first came into recovery, the first thing that used to come out of my mouth was, it's everybody else's fault that I'm like I am.
Right. They
It's
did this
not.
to me. They said that to me. They made me do.
And coming into recovery, I was able to clean house and find out that there were some things that I had gone through when I was a child
Yes.
that I had suppressed.
Yes.
And some of them had to do with my father not being there. And although God blessed me, my mother met a man when I was 2 years old who's been my father up until right now.
Yeah.
And but he's not my real blood father. And so every child wants to know who their parents are. You know, and if the parent is not there, we want to know, well, why? Is it something that I did?
Right. Is there
How
something
come
wrong
you're
with
not
me?
here?
Right.
And so I didn't realize that just that one thing, I mean, there were some other layers of things, but just that one little thing had me out there doing what I was doing. You know, and we don't know that we run from stuff because we don't want to face some of the devastation things that we've gone through coming up. We don't realize that those things hinder us from walking in our purpose and our destiny because it's a shield of fear.
Yes.
And it just festers inside of us. And so now I'm walking in some freedom because I got honest with some of those things.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And continue to do that.
Absolutely. And to give them up, right? To give them over to you know, the healing power, right?
Yeah.
And allow that shift to be able to happen just by first being honest.
Yeah.
Because everyone has gone through
Something.
I don't know anyone who hasn't gone through something.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
You know, there's a foundation that I created, and it was in honor of my godparents, who were my parents, my most stable, you know, loving, beautiful parents for me. But they were not my birth parents, and even my adopted, and I was adopted, and even my adopted mother, you know, was not able to care for me for a portion of her life. She was going through her things and wasn't able to care for me. So I went from a birth mother to an adopted mother to godparents, right?
And look at you. Look at you.
Right? So that's the point, though, right? So and it's work. You do the work, and you do that internal work, and you really allow yourself to be healed of all of those fears and the insecurities and the worries about whatever it may be, so that you can truly step into your biggest and highest purpose and live the life that you're called to live.
Absolutely.
And I believe that's really what it's all about, and everyone has that journey, whatever it is, right? So I'm so happy that you are sharing your story with us. It's absolutely phenomenal and powerful, so powerful. And that you've gone even a step further and you're sharing it through music. Now talk to me about music around, did you always know you could sing? And we'll get those answers in just a moment. We'll be right back with Melissa.
Hi, my name is Tim Ringgold.
And I'm Orgena Rose.
And welcome to my baby's first song. We're really excited you're here. We wanted to bring you into the recording studio, into the womb, where your song will be created just for you. And just kind of walk you through the process a little so you get a sense of what it would be like to work with us in this setting. So Orgena is going to describe the process to you.
Absolutely. So it's a wonderful, beautiful process that happens in 3 easy steps. So the very first thing we do is have a call with you and really get a sense of your style and the music and the message that you want to share with your baby. And the second step is really easy as well. We then take that information, that beautiful message and the sound that you want, and we begin creating the song and have that first draft for you. And then the third step is once we have that final song all together, we do a nice mix and mastering so it sounds professional and really pulled together and deliver your baby's first song.
And because your voice is so important to your baby, one of the things we're going to do for you is provide you a karaoke track of the song with the melody line in it so that you can sing along your lyrics to your baby as well.
Absolutely, because your voice, especially a mother's voice, is so important to a baby, especially even in the womb. So we really want to make sure your voice is included. And we're even going to make sure that there's a section of the song that has your voice and your message spoken in the song. So your baby is always hearing your voice and connecting with you.
So thank you for being here. Take a look around. Email us with any questions you have. We can't wait to work with you, and thanks again.
Thank you. Bye for now. So we are back with Melissa Hayward Tucker, who is about to share now where she is after such a tumultuous upbringing and her journey with drugs and alcohol, and now making music using her voice. So, Melissa, did you always know that you wanted to sing? Was there something, in the middle of all of that you were growing through? Did you always know that you wanted to sing? Did you always have an affinity for music?
Absolutely. I think I've been singing since I came out of my mother's womb. I used to walk around the house when I was able to read. She used to have little, how your grandmother and your mother would, back in the day, would have these little plaques of prayers and just spiritual sayings that would uplift you and empower you. And I used to walk around the house and read them and put music, to them, sing them, and hum them and arrange them in song form. And then I found myself writing, and I think I was far before my time because I was like 12 years old listening to Sade. When everybody else was listening to Boy George and Wham, telling my age. But, I was listening to jazz, and it just sparked my spirit, that type of music, old G music, the whispers and stylistics. And some of that stuff I got from my mom, of course, because I heard it a lot, Isley Brothers and all of that. And then I believe my biggest inspiration at that time was Helen Baylor. And to pretty much our testimonies are
very
somewhat
similar.
The same. And I remember being loaded and listening to her CD and crying, and wanting out but not knowing how to get out of the stumper that I was in. But I've been singing all my life, sung in church, was fairly shy, didn't know that, I would be doing what I'm doing now, but wanted to sing and wanted to make music. And so in the year of, 2011, God gave me the vision to make this one album, Caught Up, which is, like I said, my testimony, but I thought that it was going to end there, that I was just supposed
do that one.
And
that was it.
And that was it. But from Caught Up, God has given me many visions, and so then in 2006 He had given me a vision to birth God's Vessels Ministry, and so that was to focus on the drug addict and to continue to pour into them, and so now I do sponsorship. I have a curriculum called Building Leaders for a Better Tomorrow that we are shopping to the youth networks. And the YMCA, so we can continue to pour into our youth. God now has me going to theology school now. I got licensed to preach 2008. I got ordained just last year. And so God is just blessing. Bless you.
Thank you.
Recently, he said, okay, it's time for you to do another project. I said, really? How are we going to do that? And he said, well, you didn't know how you were going to do it the first time.
Right. And look what happened.
And look what's happened. So just recently, probably about 3 weeks ago, we began to work on the first song. And the vision and theme for this particular album is worship. But it's also, the focal point is to go tell somebody about the good news.
All right. I love that.
You know,
I love that.
I think we get so used to getting up and going to church and, you know, we don't really profess our faith wherever we go, and that's really the mandate on our lives from Matthew 28 is to go ye therefore.
So do you go to those places where you came from and now try to reach out to any of those people?
I do. I actually facilitate a women's group at the House of Uhuru. Sometimes I do nightly groups when the counselors say, hey, you guys, the alumni, please, you guys come and take a week and pour into to the clients. We do that constantly.
Because could you imagine, you know, when you talked about sitting waiting for someone to come through the door for a hit, can you imagine someone coming through the door with good news?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
Absolutely. And I sponsor women because I go to meetings. I still go to meetings, and so I'm meeting women all the time that ask me for my phone number. Some stick around, and some just don't want to do the work. It takes a lot of work, but I take them through the 12 steps. I rely on those 12 steps as well as I do the Word of God. It's what helped me. It's what got me where I'm at today. And so that's what I do.
Excellent.
You know, I'm continuously pouring into the vessels of God.
Excellent. Beautiful. And then you have your second one here.
So this one actually is Praise.
All right, with a Z.
Praise. It's just a single, and that is the one that I sell when I'm going out to raise money for God's Vessels Ministry, so that we can continue to put on Recovery Impact Day, which we hold every year in September in honor of Recovery Month.
Excellent. This is really, really powerful. Really, really beautiful here.
Amen.
That's a great picture there. Excellent. So, and this is really all for helping to continue to do that work and sharing,
continue to do
and
the work,
reaching out for people who are still suffering and struggling. Excellent, beautiful. And so you have another project you said you're doing.
So I have another project,
All right.
And so we don't have a title yet.
All right, that's okay.
But
it's in the early birthing stages.
Excellent. And we don't have a due date or any of that, but just be on the lookout.
All right.
Be on the lookout.
Well, and we'll have everyone on the lookout to hear one of your songs from one of these here. So which one are you wanting to share with everyone?
Oh my. Are you gonna make me sing?
So if there was one song from here that you would want everyone to hear, what would that be?
Okay. It would have to be the rock track, Transform. Yeah, it's gonna knock your socks off.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we look forward to hearing Transform from Melissa Hayward Tucker.
Amen.
Everybody in here experienced a transformation in your mind, your body, and in your soul. That's what the song is all about. Stay out of control. My mind was let all the world know. No way, no, no.
Melissa, thank you so much for being with us today. It has been an absolute blessing and honor and a privilege to share your story with so many of our viewers.
Actually, thank you. Thank you for this platform to be able to pour into, you know, households, families, the message of God.
Yes.
The message of hope. I'm honored to be here, and you're fabulous. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will be back next time. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for being with us today on our show. I really hope that there was something shared that really helps you shine your biggest and brightest light. Please stop by again, like us on Facebook, tweet us, all of those good things. And most importantly, please always remember, it's all about love.